The story begins 200 years ago with a sea king named Caesar in Russia, who possessed a magical ring. One day, he called his spy, a frog, and asked about the fish he wanted to marry. But then he found out that the fish had escaped from his grasp. After this, we see a boy named Emilia living by the sea with his blind father, who worked as a blacksmith. One day, Emilia sneaked out to go skating on the ice, but suddenly his father heard the sound of his footsteps. He called Emilia and checked if he had grown enough to help him. To avoid work, Emilia pretended to still be small. Later, Emilia rolled down to the riverside and tried to catch fish, but not a single fish was caught. Suddenly, a whirlwind appeared in the water, and a strong wave crashed over him. Then Emilia noticed that a large fish had fallen into his bucket on its own. He happily returned home and started preparing to cook the fish. But suddenly, the fish began to speak and said that if Emilia let it go, it would grant him 3 wishes. Emilia said he wanted to see the city but didn't want to leave the stove. Suddenly, the fish used its magic to take Emilia, along with the stove, out of the house and straight to the city. Poor Emilia, out of fear, clung to the stove, and seeing this, the common people were quite alarmed. Now, Emilia was feeling very cold, so he made his second wish, asking for summer to start immediately. At that moment, all the snow melted, and greenery spread everywhere. The entire road was filled with water, and when Emilia somehow managed to get out, he was quite disappointed because he had wasted 2 wishes. Suddenly, he encountered some bandits. They found nothing valuable on Emilia, so they decided to take his bucket. But Emilia couldn't afford to lose the fish, so he snatched the bucket and ran away, throwing the fish back into the river. However, the bandits soon caught him again and hung him upside down from a tree. Later, he saw a girl approaching from the river. The girl freed Emilia, and he ran to find the fish by the river. But unfortunately, it was of no use. Then the girl introduced herself as Valsa, and upon hearing her voice, Emilia realized that she was the fish. Now, Emilia stole her scarf so she couldn't escape and prepared to make his 3rd wish. He said he wanted to marry Princess Anisa, the daughter of the Russian Tsar. Meanwhile, in the royal palace, Princess Anisa was with Lord Ratham, an English prince. Ratham was trying to please her with various precious gifts. He showed her a musical instrument that had a dwarf inside playing it, making everyone think it played by itself. Soon, Emilia and Valsa Lisa arrived at the Tsar's palace and began listening to their conversation. The Tsar, to belittle Ratham, said that the instrument was nothing compared to a magical cat he had, which could make people dance uncontrollably when it sang. Emilia jumped in and said he could catch this magical cat, but in return, Princess Anisa would have to marry him. Hearing this, the princess was shocked, but the Tsar, impressed by Emilia's bravery, agreed to his condition. Emilia set out to find the cat, but Valsa Lisa warned him that catching the cat wouldn't be easy. Whenever someone met the cat, it would ask them to choose a song. If the cat sang a sad song, the person would cry to death, and if it sang a happy song, the person would dance until they died. But Emilia didn't back down and soon, with Valsa Lisa, reached the dense forest. Finally, after overcoming many difficult paths, he reached the cat. The cat asked him to choose a song, and Emilia chose a sad one. When the cat sang, Emilia suddenly started singing along because it was the same song his mother used to sing to him in his childhood. When the cat saw that the song had no effect on Emilia, it started crying and finally agreed to go with him. Meanwhile, Valsa Lisa met Caesar's spy, the frog, who told her that all the wedding preparations were complete. Hearing this, Emilia was confused, so Valsa Lisa explained that Caesar had once saved her from a hunter's trap, so she owed him a debt, and now Caesar wanted to marry her. Soon, they reached the royal palace where Lord Ratham was proposing to Princess Anisa. But then Emilia entered with the cat. The cat started singing, and everyone began dancing uncontrollably. The Tsar ordered Emilia to take the cat away. He was quite impressed by Emilia's bravery, but now the princess, as per the condition, didn't want to marry an ordinary man like Emilia. So, she decided to give him another dangerous task. Later that night, the princess met the spirit of her mother, Tsarina, who told her about an extremely dangerous task for Emilia. The next morning, Lord Ratham was trying to impress the Tsar with his English juicer, which also had a dwarf inside that squeezed fruits and vegetables. The Tsar was quite amazed by this unique juicer, and then Anisa arrived and set her next condition. She said she wanted a magical cloth that would instantly provide any food item when placed on the table. The Tsar then called Emilia and tasked him with finding this cloth. Soon, Emilia and Valsa Lisa set out in search of the cloth. On the way, Valsa Lisa told him that the magical cloth was with 2 brothers. After some time, they stopped at a small hut and asked the old man living there for some food. The old man gave them a little food and said that the harvest hadn't been good this year, so he didn't have much to offer. Hearing this, Emilia felt very bad, but Valsa Lisa praised the old man and his wife for their loyalty, saying they were like a needle and thread, complementing each other. After walking for a while, they reached a city of stones where two men were continuously eating. The two brothers were tired of eating and wished someone would take the cloth away. Emilia tried to steal the cloth, but the brothers threw coconuts at him, knocking him unconscious. Then Valsalisa went and asked them for water. When they saw their reflection in the water, they felt great remorse. They remembered that they were once brave soldiers who had fought against the Sultan of Turkey, but now they had become so fat that they couldn't even walk out of there. They told Valsa to take the cloth, but at the last moment, they changed their minds. However, by then, Valsa had already swiftly taken the cloth and Emilia and fled. Later, when Emilia regained consciousness, he picked flowers for his would-be wife, Anissa. Valsalisa tried to explain to him that the princess wanted to kill him, and he was blindly in love with her. But Emilia refused to listen. He recited a poem he had written for Anissa, in which he would propose to her at the end. Valsalisa got so lost in the poem that she agreed to marry him. But then she came out of her thoughts and said that he should marry someone else, not that spoiled princess. Later, when they returned to the city with the cloth, the Tsar and Princess Anissa received news that Emilia had returned with the cloth. The Tsar and Anissa immediately reached the square and saw Emilia distributing free food to the people. Later, Anissa said she was ready to marry Emilia, but she had one final condition. According to it, Emilia had to seek permission for their marriage from the spirit of Anissa's deceased mother, Zarina. Now, Emilia agreed to fulfill their condition once again. That night, Valsalisa told him the way to the world of the dead but warned him that no one had ever returned from there. But Emilia remained determined. On the way, they met Emilia's father, but Emilia remained silent so his father wouldn't know he was there. During this time, his father spoke highly of Emilia in front of Valsalisa. Soon, they realized Emilia was there too, and they called out to him. Emilia then apologized for all his mischief and decided to ask Valsalisa for his final wish. He wanted his father's eyesight to be restored, and Valsalisa granted his wish. Later, when they reached the riverside, Emilia thanked Valsalisa and returned her scarf. But Valsalisa still followed him, and soon they entered the world of the dead. There, the king, Kosei, came to meet them, and it was revealed that Valsalisa was actually his daughter. Once, Valsalisa had made a big mistake, so Kosei had turned her into a fish. Then Valsalisa asked Kosei to summon Zarina's spirit. When Zarina's spirit arrived, they learned that she had been punished with starvation, which led to her death. Now, Emilia said he wanted to marry her daughter, but Zarina refused. However, in return for helping his daughter, Kosei felt he should help Emilia, so he offered to remove Zarina's curse by giving her food. Finally, Zarina agreed to the marriage. Meanwhile, the Tsar was overjoyed to see this. Valsalisa bid farewell to her father, who said that upon leaving, Emilia would forget everything he had seen. Hearing this, Valsalisa looked at Emilia with sad eyes and smiled. The next morning, Emilia woke up and had forgotten about Valsalisa. He ran to the shore, and Valsalisa turned back into a fish and swam away. Later, Emilia went to Anissa, but he said he had fallen in love with someone else, though he couldn't remember who. Hearing this, Anissa happily ordered Emilia's arrest. He was taken to the square, and it was announced that all his feats had been achieved through magic, so he would be executed for deceiving Princess Anissa. Hearing this, the Tsar left in disappointment. In his final moments, Emilia remembered his childhood and the time spent with his father. Suddenly, Valsalisa escaped from Caesar's grasp and returned. Valsalisa offered to give her powers to Anissa in exchange for Emilia's release, and Anissa happily freed Emilia. Then Anissa made her first wish and became the queen. She took the crown from her father, the Tsar, and imprisoned him in a tower. Now, Anissa's second wish was to become the wife of the King of England. Just then, ambassadors from England arrived with a marriage proposal. Meanwhile, Emilia returned home, trying to remember the person he had fallen in love with. Suddenly, his father mentioned the needle and thread, which sparked a realization in Emilia. He remembered everything about Valsalisa and the time they had spent together. He immediately set out for the city, and his father and two brothers joined him. The four of them broke into the palace, and Emilia began searching for Valsalisa. Valsalisa couldn't believe Emilia recognized her, but then Anissa intervened. She said she didn't want to become a sorceress like Valsalisa, but Valsalisa understood her third wish and fulfilled it. Suddenly, Anissa turned into a fish, and she realized her powers were useless because she could only fulfill others' wishes. Then Anissa called a servant and asked him to make a wish that she would marry the most powerful king in the world. As soon as the servant made the wish, Caesar emerged from the sea and took Anissa away, as he was indeed the most powerful king. Finally, Valsalisa's curse was broken, and Emilia went to her, recited his poem, and kissed her. In the end, Emilia and Valsalisa were united forever. If you like this unique story and want to hear more such tales, please let us know in the comments.